Hello everyone, very good evening. This is Vivek Bajaj. If you guys are able to hear me, can you please confirm? Yeah. Namaskar. Thank you, Jagdish Bhai, Ninad, Pradeep, Mohan, Devdip. Thank you. Pankaj, Pradeep, Anjani. Thank you so much. Yeah, fantastic. All right, so Friday evening session, discussion, weekend session. I'm here and Shorodip will also be there very soon after my session. My session is going to be for 15 minutes. Then Shorodip is going to do a very detailed, deep analysis about the market. And then we have one more guest who will join us today and talk about his understanding about the market and what one should do to survive in this market. Yes, the word used is survive in this market because market has been quite brutal. I think after many months, I have also witnessed this kind of a market where the fall has been extremely acute. But good point is that we have been talking about it. If you have been attending our program, if you have been hearing our weekend analysis, dollar has been always our kind of anchor instrument, which we have been discussing that because dollar is strong, market definitely is not looking at we are not looking at market to be extremely bullish, and there was fair bit of alert and warning that market may correct, but this correction was very acute. Frankly speaking, I was not expecting this kind of a ferociousness in the correction, but that is how it is. Positions, we have been always telling you guys that positions should be kept large. Your core portfolio and satellite portfolio should be clearly classified. So, lot of booking in the satellite portfolio. Your core portfolio still remains there. I feel that India is in the crux of a major economic growth. If inflation tapered down, definitely Indian market should continue to outperform global markets. But it's matter of time since globally everyone is now concerned about inflation, and all the central banks have literally started working on in consortium to bring down the inflation. So there will be pain, but let's see till what time the pain will be there. And we all, as a market participant, will have to hold on to our core portfolio. But the satellite portfolio, which should be very high percentage of your portfolio because you are an active market participant, obviously the satellite portfolio will see a lot of churning. So you will have to sell weak stocks and you will have to enter the strong stocks, and also you have to keep on booking losses if at all in these strong stocks so that you sustain in the market. So overall the view of the market is that dollar is strong. It is almost above 103, staying there for some time. Very important will be to find out what dollar is going to do next. Look at this chart. I was looking at this chart, which is a weekly chart over a period of time, and dollar it went up, went down, went up, went down. So this is a level of dollar which can be make or break. If it remains above 103 for another week, I think dollar is here for very strong move. And if dollar goes up, there will definitely be further acute corrections in the market. So we all are dependent on dollar. So let's see what happens to the dollar. And I'm also worried right now with respect to oil, because oil is consolidating here. So if oil also breaks out and dollar also breaks out together, then it's a double whammy. So we are not in a very good situation, very honestly. The global economics has really gone for a toss thanks to Russia-Ukraine war, thanks to COVID. Everything has started looking very rosy. Let's see what happens. US yield curve, look at the 10-year yield curve. In fact, I was doing the study of 10-year yield curve. So this 10-year yield curve is approaching 2018 and 2014 levels. So let's see if it crosses here. So US yield curve, if it crosses these levels, and dollar index also crosses these levels, And if crude also starts going up, I think we are in for some major trouble. So let's see what happens in the market. So what am I doing in the market? So right now, again, the quest to identify strong stocks is on. The quest to identify sectors which can emerge as a outperformer in the market is on. So right now there is no view as such in the market for me because whatever stocks I have been looking at, almost 50% to 60% of those stocks stop loss has been hit. So I am literally out of the market right now. I'm holding around 40% of these stocks and looking try to figure out कि कौन से सेक्टर या कौन सा स्टॉक आउट परफॉर्म करना चालू करेगा, then I will enter those stocks. But my core portfolio is still there because core is long term, 5 years, 10 years down the line. So that core portfolio with Reliance, SDFC, Kotak Bank, all those portfolio stocks are still there, and I'm constantly continuing with the SIP in those stocks. I don't want to touch that SIP because that can be very counterproductive. But my satellite portfolio is definitely getting trimmed down because of stop losses and because of obviously stocks underperforming the market. So that obviously has a bearing on my portfolio. So all in all, I mean, nothing much to talk about today. Overall market is waiting for follow-on actions of dollar and yield curve. And as far as stock is concerned, um, existing satellite portfolio is getting trimmed. Market already trading below 200-day moving average, and I've been telling this that below 200-day moving average I'm not interested in market. I will keep on selling, and that is what I'm doing. I will continue with my momentum only when market crosses this 200-day moving average. उसके पहले मैं momentum के नहीं participate कर रहा हूँ. Whatever I participated here, I'm squaring up my momentum portfolio. But मेरा core portfolio, again repeating for the sake of repeat, मेरा कोर पोर्टफोलियो अभी भी मेरे साथ है और वो मैं एसआईपी करते रहूंगा बिकॉज इक्विटी लॉन्ग टर्म वेल्थ क्रिएशन हैपेंस only if you stick to your core portfolio, and satellite is something which is more momentum driven. So since market has started trading below 200-day moving average, I am gradually moving out of my momentum stocks. That is pretty much I have today. Nothing much to add. Uh, just small thing, because I'm active in social, and I've already mentioned there, but I would like to mention this again that booking loss is extremely important. And I'm a person who doesn't shy away from booking loss. See, I've been constantly telling people to book, because if a stock is weak, you have to book. If you have entered the strong stock and it is becoming weak, you have to book, because that's the cornerstone of a very good trader. And I have done that. So you see, 1 week ago also I mentioned that I feel proud when I'm booking loss. That shows my mental strength. If you book loss in weak stock, you get opportunity to enter a strong stock. And if you understand this, you have arrived. So this is very clear. I've been constantly talking about this book. So fortunately, I was spared by the market. बहुत ज्यादा स्टॉक्स थे नहीं, बहुत ज्यादा पोजीशन था नहीं मोमेंटम में, so I was able to exit, and I'm waiting for the new momentum to come into the market to re-enter the market. बाकी core portfolio अभी भी चल रहा है, and I have no intention of exiting from my core portfolio and making it zero. All right, so this is it from my side. Nothing much to add. I would request Souradeep. Souradeep, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Souradeep?
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you,
Yes,
Souradeep. Please
yes.
take it over
Thank
from
you.
me.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. So once again, welcome to all of you. Hi, can you please tell me if I'm audible to all of you, and if you can see my screen?
Yes, we can see. You're audible.
Okay, okay. Thanks. Thank you, sir. Thanks for your opportunity. Yes. Uh, so I will start with a little bit macro, because regarding market there is not much thing that we can discuss, and trust me, in the DMP program also this week I have shared hardly one or two stocks because market that we are dealing with is in a very critical situation. Before going into market and everything, let me talk a little bit about this. Just a second. Yeah. So let me talk a little bit about the oil scenario, because all of you know that right now globally there is a war that is going on, especially uh, the Europe and the US is getting involved with the in the war in Ukraine. Now, everybody, all of you are hearing something. Let me show. EU Russian oil. Okay. Now, everywhere, if you go to the news, what you are hearing, that you move to ban Russian oil imports. Okay. So EU tweaks Russian oil sanction plan to bid win over reluctant states. So you can see everywhere EU is saying that they will stop importing Russian oil by the end of 2022 if the war continues. Now, you have to understand the scenario. Okay. Why I am telling you this is very important. If you see the oil demand, the 2022 demand is likely, right now it is almost 100 million barrel per day, and later in the year it is supposed to go to 101 to 103 almost, right? If the economies are behaving normally. This is according to the monthly oil market report. This is about the monthly oil market report uh, in the OPEC. You can go in the OPEC, and every month around 15th, 16th, this report is published. You can go there and download. I just downloaded it. Now, please understand a very important thing. So world almost need 100 to 102 million barrel per day every month, every day. Now, look at the oil supply. Okay, this is the global supply. Now, where do you see Russia? Almost 11 million barrel per day. Out of that, 3 million barrel per day Russia consumes itself. So out of 100 million production or consumption all over the world, Russia produces 11 million and exports 8 million barrel per day, which is a very significant amount. Okay, 8 million barrel per day is very significant amount. Now, one last thing that I would like to show you before going into see. Can you see this page where you can see the commercial stock of crude oil? The yellow line in 2020, it went up. Why? Because COVID, there was no demand, oil was being produced, right? Now, 2021, you can see that stock has come down, and the average stock between 2017 to 21 is this dotted line. Now, this is this year's stock. Now, how do you see this year's stock right now starting compared to the last 5 years? Tell me, where do you see the present year stock starting? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Much below. Now, that was purposefully done by OPEC so that oil prices are up. So if stock is so less, and over and above that 8 million barrels per day, if Europe, who are the main buyers of Russian oil? Europe and Asia too, a little bit. Now, if India less than 5% is supplied by Russia, Now, India mainly buys from two countries, that is Saudi Arabia and the UAE. Now, and a little bit from, I would say, Iraq. These three countries constitute most of India's oil imports. Now, tell me, if leave apart what you and US are saying that they will ban totally Russian oil. If for just 1 week Russia stops producing oil, for just 1 week Russia stops sending this 8 million barrel per day, what will happen to oil price? What do you think? Shoot up to what level? 150, 200, right? Even if they stop what EU is trying the world to do, if they stop producing for 1 week, leave apart for entirety. See, oil stock is so low, so oil is very vulnerable to any kind of supply crunch. Above that, well above that, you are trying to stop 8 million barrel out of 100 million needed. Now, leave apart this thing also, oil thing also. So, nobody can produce oil suddenly, right? Oil is something. OPEC has 2 to 3 million of spare capacity. Otherwise, oil cannot be produced at will. Look at this USA weekly oil production. Okay, US gives this data weekly. Now, please understand, this is the weekly oil production for last many years, like 40 years, they have this data. Now, come to present. When has the war started? Beginning of March. Now, till between March to April, how much US has been able to lift oil production? How much? Tell me. They were already producing 11.7 before that. So from 11.7, 11.9, only 0.2 million barrel. Only 0.2 million barrel they have been able to introduce into the market. Only OPEC has 3 to 4 million barrel per day extra capacity, and OPEC is not producing enough in a hurry because they love higher oil prices. Now, please understand, leave the price also. Just think, if tomorrow oil means mobility, to transport, oil is required for transportation. This is the main use. Now, if prices, even if prices are cheap, if 8% of fuel is available less in the world, what will happen to the world? 8% fuel for transportation is available less into the world. What will happen to the world? Tell me. इंडिया में मान लो 100 यूनिट supply chain issue, right? Not to the price. There is shortage of transporting oil. If it happens, that means there will be power crisis. That means there will be less of transportation of goods and materials. That means there is inevitable recession. Not only charges increase, leave about the price, there will be recession because logistical bottlenecks will be there. There will not be enough fuel to carry human and goods from one place to another. So if there is less of transportation of goods and human being, what will happen? There will be a recession. So what you are understanding, that what US and you are planning over the sanctions, what they want is a kind of suicide in terms of recession. They want to punish Russia by banning oil imports and other commodity imports. Now, earlier, if Russia was selling 8 million barrel, if the price goes to 200, Russia will only need 3 million barrel to sell to get the same revenue they were getting earlier, isn't it? So they will be in a very dire situation. And they are not only crude oil, they are also banning natural gas. So NG prices are here. So if I go to the natural gas, see again, this is monthly chart. You can see natural gas prices are going up, and it is not winter. So natural gas demand is not that high. Still prices are this high. Now, what can happen in winter? They can go to this $14, $15 level, right? They can go to $14, $15 level if there is less of oil import. All of you agree or not? Tell me. So what will happen? An inevitable recession. And I have been sharing this data with my TMP students who are in the trading mentorship program right now, each and every day, and warning them that possibly we are at the cusp of a recession or already in a recession. Last week, first quarter GDP data of USA came and it showed contraction. Now, two consecutive quarters of contraction means a recession. The way things are going, highly likely that US will be recession in the first half of the year, right? Now, if US is in a recession, what will happen? It will impact the IT industry the most. It will impact every country. If the inflation is high, India may grow 3-4%. India was supposed to grow 8.2, 8.7 earlier when war was not there. In India, generally recession does not come. Even in 2008, recession did not hit India. Only due to COVID, there was recession. Otherwise, India generally there is lack of recession, right? Because the population is so huge, they consume. So India may grow 2-3%, but India 2-3% is not a growth. You have to understand 2020 had shrunk the GDP by a lot. 2021 pulled it back from that level to the level it was supposed to grow. So 2020 and 21 due to COVID combined, we are still at 2019 GDP, right? You understand? 2019 where we are, 2020 was a pull down and 2020 was, so over the 2 years we have not grown anything. The world has not grown anything, right? Now, if we grow 2%, 3% this year, this is as good as a recession in a country like this. No, we are not all getting oil at 30% discount, Zahur Paulji. US won't allow India to buy discounted oil to huge amount. India may buy a little bit extra, but US won't allow any country to buy oil at 30-50% discount from Russia. That is a sure. Okay. So we will also be paying the price, and you can see how our forex reserve. No, we cannot stop China, but China is a different ballgame. Okay, India is not China. Now you can see from 642 billion how the forex reserve have been declining. And let us look from end of February. In 2 months, we have lost 35 billion of forex reserve in 2 months. Just understand, due to this high oil prices, in 2 months we have lost 35 billion. If this continues for 6 more months and we lose another 100 billion from our forex reserve, there will be panic in India. Rupee will reach 80, 82. So please understand the kind of situation we are facing. If it continues for 6 more months, we will be in a position where our forex reserve will be coming down to almost 480, 500. And that is a dire thing. Okay. Now look at how the global data has been coming. Okay, I have been putting those data. I cannot go back to the economic.com. So I am showing from my Twitter handle few data. I have posted these data in my TMP group also. Germany industrial production month of March. Now this is for month. Now everybody understand that every February is a winter month in Europe. Every winter month of Europe. Is my voice coming? Is my voice coming? Can you please assure that voice is coming, right? So every February is a winter month in Europe. Now March is a month where the economic activity picks up because this is summer. So if you go to this data and look at every year, what you will find is that generally March is a very strong year and it is reported in May, barring the year of COVID. Every March is positive. Now look what they have done to the March data. March industrial production is contracting. This is the biggest economy in the Europe. Now come back. Yesterday I also put two data. Germany factory orders shrinking by 4.7% in the month of March. French industrial production in the month of March ideally needs to be positive because February to March, month is generally a growth because it is transition from winter to summer. Now what is happening? Shrinking. So possibly Europe and USA both are embracing for a kind of recession. Let me put another point before I going into charts. Okay. US 33 billion, Ukraine. Now Joe Biden is proposing 33 billion of military aid in Ukraine. Okay, 33 billion of military aid to Ukraine. Now, where it comes, you will understand. How much did India pay for 36 Rafale jets, roughly? If anyone remembers, how much did India pay for fully loaded Rafale jets? 2 squadron of Rafale jets. Nobody remembering this? Only 7-8 billion. Only 7-8 billion India paid for Rafale jets, right? Now 33 billion, you can, if you see fully loaded, fully nuclear capable Rafale jets, India paid 7 billion kind of, I think. Now for if they are helping with 33 billion, you can understand the kind of arms they are sending to. You can understand the kind of arms they are sending. They are planning to send to Russia, Ukraine. 33 billion is that much. Let me give you another sense. Russia defense budget. Okay. Now it is approximately 65-68 billion. Now, if India's defense budget is 100 unit, out of that 50, at least 50 to 60 goes to the salary of the employees, salary of the soldiers. So if Russia's defense budget is 68 billion, so you understand Russia's annual arms budget may be maximum 30 to 35 billion. So US is planning to send Russia's annual budget, arms budget worth of arms to Ukraine. That is my interpretation. Right? So they are giving so much arms that is equivalent to Russia's annual arms budget. And not only US, Germany, UK, everybody is giving arms. So Ukraine is almost getting approximately, if you add everything, like 1.5 years of arms that Russia buys every in 1.5 years or 2 years. That much arms Ukraine is getting suddenly. Now Russia have this huge arm for such a huge country. Ukraine is a small area. Now in that small area, if they are getting so much huge arms, do you think the war will end so soon? Do you think the war will end so soon? So everybody is like in an aggressive mode. And what I tweeted, this is my pin tweet. If you go here, sorry, you will find this. This is my pin tweet. The ongoing recession will be the longest in decades to come and in few decades gone by. So if the war continues, for me, this will be one of the biggest recession that we may see in our lifetime. Okay. And this will be known as Joe Biden's stagflation that I wrote. But that I wrote only because they are not working to actually normalize the situation. When I saw this 33 billion war, see, people criticize Donald Trump, but can you recall a single global conflict during Donald Trump era? Can you recall a single war? People told a lot of things about him. Okay. Now see, in Joe Biden came in 1.5 years. So, and the Afghanistan thing happened. Now this is happening. So things are not in a proper way being in the globe right now. Now look at this. This is the overall scenario that I wanted to tell you. Okay. Nuclear, I don't know if it happens, what will happen, but look at this. This is dollar index. Now see why Nifty has been a hell of a index and all the global indices. See, all the commodities, all the agri commodities are monthly charts sitting at lifetime high. Corn, soybean, sugar, cotton, this is sunflower oil, all at lifetime high. Okay. Natural gas is going up, crude is going up, but the things that has started coming down are the metals. Aluminium coming down, zinc coming down because there is threat of recession. Lead is coming down, iron ore is coming down, and globe is not so much dependent on Russia for all these. Okay, so you can see these prices have started coming down. Now, please understand, Vivek sir was also talking about this, and I posted in TMP already about this. That see, this is the monthly chart of dollar. Why Nifty has been such a difficult index to trade? This is the weekly chart of Nifty, but let me show you the daily chart. You will understand that how difficult it is to trade Nifty. See, one day there is huge gap up coming down. Next day it is gap down, pull back. Now next day it opens higher, pulls down. So there is no continuity. See the extent of gap down, gap up. From 16,954, it gaps up 300 points up and goes up another 200 points. So over in one day, 500-point move. Next day, huge gap down. Next day, gap down. Next day, gap up. So this is a terrible market to trade, and that is why I am not giving trades. See, if it falls like this, it falls like this. It falls like this. One can trade. Okay, so these falls we traded when we had TMP during this time. Also, we traded very well this movement. So these kind of falls can be traded. But how do you trade this huge gap ups and gap downs? I don't know how to trade seriously. And I was expecting market to turn around and actually go higher. I was thinking everything will resolve. But right now, on a larger scale, if I'm going to monthly chart, see Nifty has only fallen 10% from the top, and if there is recession, Nifty can easily fall towards 11,700 to 13,000. I told this in my TMP group. I told this in the TMP group. TMP March, I think we had the discussion today that what level I was expecting. Okay, I don't recall where, but we uh, had a discussion. Okay, now 14,400, 13,100, 11,700. These are the major levels that we will look if there is a serious recession. Now, this kind of edgy market, we are not even able to trade on the downside also. But I'm telling you what will happen if dollar index sustains above this 100 and 400, 4.5, it will march towards 121. At that point of time, you will see smoother falls and we will be able to trade on the short direction. Similarly, in the bank nifty, if you draw this, it can easily fall to 29,000 to 26,000. 29,000 it can anywhere fall, but if such a recession comes, I think we will see somewhere between 21,600 to 26,000 if things are not resolved. Now tell me the last thing that one can hope for is that ninth, and why dollar index is yet not crossing this level, right? Let me tell you why. The reason is that ninth is the important day, 9th May. Now, if on 9th May, Putin announces a withdrawal, you may see dollar index actually correcting and things normalizing. But if 9th May things intensifies in all direction, you can see dollar index breaching 104 and things actually moving down very fast in the equity front. So wait, just look at this, don't trade because it is very difficult to trade right now. Avoid trading for a few days for your investment stocks. If they are hitting your stop loss that you mentally have 10%, 5%, you just exit that and look at this. After 9th May, that is Monday, it will be clear to you if dollar index is breaking above 104. And in that case, see, dollar index is that strong, but still crude is strong. If things does not intensify, you may see crude oil dropping to 90 on 9th May. But if things go worse, you may see crude oil breaching 110, 11 and going up. If that happens, just buy 34,000 month-end put in Bank Nifty and have maybe 32,000 Bank Nifty put short, create a bear put spread or buy a 33,000, short 31,000, create a bear put spread and have huge gains over the fall. Correct? Now I will hand it over to Prakash Gawar sir. We all know him. He is a legend in our market. Hi sir, I can see you patiently waiting. It has been a great pleasure for me to share the same forum with you on this day. Please, all over to you, sir. Please take it over. Thank you
Thank you.
for
Thank
being
you.
with
Thank you
us.
very much. I may require your help because, yeah, I have to show my screen. You can see my screen now? Just like to ask you.
Yes, sir. We can see your screen.
Okay, very good. Just a moment. Let me just cancel everything here so it becomes very easy for me. Fine. You can see the screen and charts?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Very good. Excellent. Good evening to you guys. Let me explain the market to you. The market has been bad for a while. Simple as that. It's been bad. Everyone knows it. Let me explain the market to you in a larger term time frame. So what I will do is I'll convert it into an hourly chart. Yeah. Let me see this. This is an hourly chart. This is a daily chart. What do you see in this daily chart? You see this here? Topping pattern out here? What is this topping pattern? It's classical head and shoulder pattern. There's a shoulder out here, there's a head out here, and there's a shoulder out here. It's a classical head and shoulder pattern. What you need to do? Draw a trend line here to here, neckline. And then move it from here to here. Simple. It achieves the target. Now this is the classical reversal pattern, I would say that. Simple. Now we got enough move here. What do you see here? Again, a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. It's going to come down. It's coming down. Let's go further down. Here, what do you see here? I see again a head and shoulder pattern. A good shoulder out here, good head out here, and again a shoulder. You go to, there's a neckline here. Move this here, right? Put it up to here. And you can see down move here, maybe until 16,000. Yes, market is coming to 16,000. It's a matter of time. Take it or leave it. And open the gap down here is a sign of weakness. In fact, I would say that if you put a gap out here, this is a sign of weakness. Now, where do you feel the market will be good? Until the market crosses this zone here. We must assume that anything that goes up will come down and possibly go to 16,000. This is how I see the market. Simple as that. Now let's look at it, the internals of the market. I'll put into a 1 hour chart. When you look at a 1 hour chart, I'll show you all. Here. See these patterns here. You have classical reversal patterns, complete reversal patterns. I'll make it into 4 hour chart if I can do it. Yeah, 3 hour chart. Let's see. See this head and shoulder pattern is so clear. completely clear out here. This is again a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. Classical reversal pattern. So until it crosses this mark that I've marked here, this zone has to cross. Until then, everything rallies, all rallies are sellable, and we can see down to maybe around 16,000, 15,700, who knows. So the market is down. Structurally, it is weak. This is Nifty. Let us go at Nifty Bank. Exactly similar is the case you'll see. Classical head and shoulder pattern here. I'll expand it here. See this, I'll expand it here. Up move here, shoulder. This is the head. Came down, went and again saw a shoulder out here. Broke down the neck here, came down slower. No problem. Everywhere you will see head and shoulder pattern here. Look at this head and shoulder pattern here. This is slanting head and shoulder pattern. It works. This is the head and shoulder pattern here. This is head, one shoulder, another shoulder. Weak pattern comes down. Look at this one. This is the head, this is the shoulder. Two shoulders here, two shoulders here. Neckline is breakdown. How much does it come down? Marked it here, parallel. Minimum that I see is 32,500. Minimum. Can it go down lower? Yes, it can. So the market is weak. Where will it become strong? It will become strong only after it crosses this. That is 36,800. So all rallies need to be sold into. Simple. Got to understand where the market is. Then only you can't trade on hope. Market is weak and it will stay weak. So I'm a seller in the market. Simple. Now, which are the stocks that are coming down? In fact, every stock. All Sensex heavyweights, top 10 will be down. So you want to go long, that's a disaster. You can't be thinking of going long until you get signal for the market to say it's strong. So until that happens, I think it's weak. I'll take any questions if you have. Any questions? Who's moderating it? Anyone moderating it? I'll be happy to take a question. Anyone moderating this? Hello? Anyone moderating this, please? So far the market is weak, Nifty is weak, and I don't see any strength. Let's look at some strength in the market. This is my screen. I think Gujarat Petronet possibly can go up from here. Looks okay, can go up, possibly. It's a weak up move. ONGC, again a weak up move. We can see it going up maybe on Monday, 170, 175 level is possible. What Power Grid? Again a weak up move, not strength. Can I see State Bank of India? A weak up move. This is all short covering up. What happens? Tech Mahindra. This looks okay, it's slightly better. Possibly we'll see an up move here. The best stock among all the stocks that I've shown today is Tech Mahindra. Possibly we'll see an up move here on Monday. Hero Motors, it's been up for the last 2 days. I've been speaking about Hero Motors on air yesterday and today it's gone up. But I would wait here because the resistance out here. Stocks that look weak, Alchem. Yes, it's looking weak. One can sell it here. Stop about 315 and come down. What about Bharti Airtel? Yes, it looks weak. What about Biocon? Yes, it looks weak. Coming down, see the way it's cracking, it can come down to maybe 340 or 330 zones. What about ITC? Possibly we'll see an up move here. It's holding on. So some of the stocks were okay, otherwise the market would have fallen apart. So what I would do is, I will take any questions if you have any questions. Okay? Or else I will say goodbye. I'll wait for a minute and see if there are any questions. If there are no questions, then I'll just wind up and say good night to you. Enjoy the ride. Change presenter, anyone else? Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. I'm video presenter. Okay, guys, looks like there's nobody here. So what I will do is I'll say good night to you. Just remember one thing. Trading is only about making money, nothing else. Please remember one thing. Trade what you see, not what you think. Trade the markets, not the focus. Happy trading and just enjoy the ride and enjoy the weekend. Thank you very much.